Alright my dudes, hey Zinc here, welcome back to the Nether Realm, or the channel, or I don't even remember what I say at the start of these videos anymore, so hi. Anyway guys, if you've not already, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that like button for today's news. So, what we're going to be talking about today, we're going to be talking about JP Disgaea, okay, but we're not simply going to be talking about JP Disgaea because these things have implications for global Disgaea further down the line, okay? So, today, JP Disgaea announced a collab that not many people were expecting, and based on the fact that I've had discussions about collabs with you guys, not many people were asking for it either, but that doesn't mean it's not hype. And that is Attack on Titan. So, Attack on Titan X Disgaea is going to become a thing, okay? It's quite interesting. I mean, Attack on Titan has done collabs with other gachas. Straight off the top of my head, the Grand Cross game springs to mind, which will mean that two of our collabs, which is RE0 and Attack on Titan, have previously been collabs for that game. So maybe the other properties that Seven Deadly Sins Grand Cross collabed with will potentially be easier gets for Disgaea. So maybe we'll see something like that time I was reincarnated as a slime. Maybe, I don't think we'll see King of Fighters, but maybe the next one that we could probably expect would be a slime collab, which, I mean, I would take it, but I've made it pretty clear who I want my next collab to be. We'll talk about future collabs in a minute. So yes, Attack on Titan collab is coming to Disgaea RPG. So what does that tell us? Well, that tells us they're basically aiming, maybe it's coincidence or maybe this is on purpose, but they're aiming to do a collab once every 6 months. So far the game is a year and a half old. This will be their third collab on JP, and there or thereabouts, the collabs have been roughly 6 months apart, okay? So, first one was Seven Deadly Sins, around about 6 months after that was RE0, and around about 6 months after that was, is going to be Attack on Titan. Now, in between points, they seem to do NIS collabs, so maybe something like the Phantom Brave will come out in 3 months' time. I guess we'll find out later. This is speculation on my part, but looking at what they've done already, I'm fairly confident that that's probably what they're going to do. So, what does this mean for global? Now, obviously, I've told you before that when I spoke to the staff, they said to me, we will get the collabs. So, with our accelerated schedule, with us getting the Seven Deadly Sins at some point, I might know when it's happening, I might not, but we're getting it sooner rather than later, but not too soon. Not too soon. If you go with my original prediction, you won't be too far off. But basically, we'll be getting the Seven Deadly Sins collab. Then we'll get the RE0 collab, and then we will get the Attack on Titan collab. In some ways, the Attack on Titan collab being about a year away might actually be a big benefit to global, because the reason I say that is the Attack on Titan anime is going to be back at round about that point. So yes, Japan's getting it just now. The anime is not airing at the moment. The manga's finished. So while hype for Attack on Titan is still fairly high, it isn't at like a peak level of when the anime is airing. Global may have a slight advantage of when this comes out, the anime is either going to be airing, it's going to be previewing, people are going to be talking about it, so it has a far higher likelihood, in my opinion anyway, of drawing in new players who might pick up Disgaea. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh hey Zinc, how do we even know Disgaea will still be running roundabout then? one of the members of the Discord shared, I can't remember what site it is, it's one of these sites like Sensor Tower or something like that, where it shows you the revenue a game made in a given month, and the revenue that I seen from Sensor Tower was 1.5 million made in May. So people can doommonger all they want, but for a game like Disgaea, which is a smaller player base, which is a niche title, to make 1.5 million revenue in 1 month means that the game's doing quite well, actually. So I think that hopefully will alleviate some people's fears about the game potentially quote unquote dying. So I think we can look forward to these longer term collabs. So I did mention before that obviously on stream one night I was talking about collabs and what people would like to see, etc. Attack on Titan was never something that came up. Things like Devil May Cry, for me, I've said this many times, it was Full Metal Alchemist. I've seen people saying things like Hellsing Unlimited. What kind of collabs would you guys like to see in the game? I mean, I don't think thematically it has to match Disgaea, okay? Some people do think that way, where, oh no, you can't have this in Disgaea, that's not going to work. I mean, there's already the complicated idea of how is Attack on Titan going to work in Disgaea exactly? Are we going to have Titans? Are we going to have all human characters? Are they all going to be mainly sword characters? I mean, you could bring Sasha in. Sasha could use a gun. You've got fist users. I think potentially they could bring in the Titans easily, because the way Disgaea works is, if you look at all the sprites that you can see on screen just now as I'm running the item world, sense of scale when it comes to height doesn't really apply when they're in their sprite form. So I think quite easily there could be Titan sprites, and they would be monsters. I think it's pretty obvious that they would be monsters. There wouldn't be too many magical Titans. There'd be more all physical, which I guess is fine. But I think it could work, and I think it will have an effect on new players. Again, not all those players will necessarily stick around, because when it comes to collabs, that tends to be the thing that happens. Players will come in, they'll summon for the characters that they like, and then they'll ditch the game. That happens quite a lot. But if even 5 or 10% of those players decide to stick around because they join the core game experience, then to me, I would say it's a successful collab. And the players who currently play the game get a chance to summon some cool units that they might want for their game. So I think this is quite a good collab. In future, I still say I want to see Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist has done a collab with The Alchemist Code. It's done a collab with, I think it's Final Fantasy Bravely Exodus. But it's definitely done a collab with one of the Final Fantasy titles. So they are definitely a property that's willing to do collabs with other games. So I hope that they decide to push for that for Disgaea, because there's a few reasons why I'd like to see it. I think, first of all, the art style would translate well to Disgaea's art style. I feel like because it's alchemists and magic and stuff like that, you could have scope to have them in the game quite easily. I just think it would be a really fun collab to have. I think now, because we've went for Attack on Titan, then something like JoJo would actually work in Disgaea. They've basically said that, look, we don't care. It doesn't need to be someone that we can make like a demon version of or whatever, like they did with RE0 and Seven Deadly Sins. So if that's the case, then it means that stuff like JoJo, etc. is not off limits. And these are things like, yeah, Full Metal Alchemist isn't, but JoJo is something that they have a new manga coming up, a new anime, sorry. They have a new game coming up fairly shortly. So they will probably be in the market to look to do things like collabs and stuff, because it's big business in Japan. Japan collabs are massive, massive business for promotion, and obviously for cross promotion with whatever they are collabing with. So anyway, enough of me waffling on. What do you guys think? Are you someone who, yes, obviously temper your expectations. We're probably about a year away from us getting this, okay? But are you excited for Attack on Titan to be added to Disgaea RPG? Are you in the camp of it doesn't fit the style, so I don't care? Or are you like me, where you can see the benefits of any collab, especially with a larger property? So does this get you excited? Anyway guys, let me know all of this and more in the comments down below. And while we're here, because a lot of you probably didn't see the video that I made a while ago about collabs, let me know, what would you like? What would you like to see a collab with? Do you want to see Disgaea cross with Pokemon? Do you want to see Disgaea x Sailor Moon? Let me know all of this and more in the comments down below. Guys, I've been Hazink, and as always, thanks for joining me on the channel, dudes. Stay safe. Peace.